Hey, so today I'm going to show you how I'm going to edit one of my clients' videos. I'm going to find the right parts and I'm going to prompt AI to come up with all the ideas and everything like that. So the first thing is I'm going to edit one of this guy's videos. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to his YouTube channel because he has some followers, but his reels are not so good. He can get much more views in my opinion. Yeah, this is just part of podcasts. I think it can be much better. But then if I go to his YouTube channel, then I see there's much more effort that's put into it. So the first thing I will do is go to his most viral videos, because what works on YouTube would work on Instagram as well, because if people find it interesting here, they might find it interesting there as well. The only thing is this is 30 minutes, which is something we can still post on Instagram. I've tried it, I've gained a lot of leads from it, but we can also turn this into a short form and then get people to comment a keyword. ManyChat or an automation will send them the full video. So that's the magic behind that. So then also Instagram grows and also this grows. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on this one. I use Descript to edit my videos, but you can use other tools as well. What I can do here is basically go here, new project, and then I can basically paste the URL inside it. Maybe because it's recording from Discord, I cannot. Add file, no. Usually you can add this link into this. So I already did it. So then I see this video. This is the video. So then I have all the transcript here. The beautiful thing about this app is I can delete sentence and it will delete it from the video. But we're not gonna do that now. We are gonna take all the transcripts, or if you don't have Descript, you can also go into, I just wrote YouTube transcript and then I copy paste the first thing, or you can go into here, show transcripts, and then you can see all the transcript. Anyway, then I'm gonna go to AI and I'm gonna prompt it in the right way. I like to give it as much context as possible to give me the right information. So I'm gonna start here. Hey, this is a video of one of my students or one of my clients and we wanna make a short form video. So I'm gonna paste here the transcript, and from all those sentences, I want you to create three short form videos that will go viral. And I will also paste here a viral framework or formula. Those sentences exist already, so we cannot change the sentences because that video has already been made, but we can add some text hooks, which like the shorter the text hook is, the better. So 7 words or less. And yeah, we can add some written context possibly as well. But I would just like you to tell me exactly the sentences, how they are, and then so I can copy paste them and move them in the timeline. I'm using Descript for this to edit it, so I'm just gonna copy paste the sentences that you tell me. They should be exact match, otherwise it wouldn't find it, and then I'm gonna drag them around to make one good reel. Of course, a reel cannot be longer than 90 seconds. Okay, then I'm gonna transcript it. Now I have Claude, so I can use Claude for it, which is smarter, and I can use my own project or his project, but we don't need to even. We can even use ChatGPT. But then one thing that I wanna add into this formula is, or two things actually, are, well, first of all, transcript. So I'm gonna go here and take the transcript and then viral reel formula. And then I don't know why it doesn't load now, but you can find it links here. So samim.info/links, as you see, and then short form formula. And then you can basically copy this and then it will go and think. Now we can do a test and see where it will go more viral, if this will work. Sam cleared it, isn't it? Okay, this is perfect. So let's see how this goes.
Theme, intro and hook. 1 week with the $1 trillion man. Suggested order of exact transcript. I spent 1 week with the $1 trillion man and it's completely changed my life too. How did this all get started? Match of its help. I always try to find a mentor that has achieved the results that I want to achieve. 4. I realized that they all had the same mentor. Dan, it's like a 75-year-old grandpa filled with testosterone. 6. If you've never seen a Dan Pena video, I recommend you to check it out. I hope that you've enjoyed watching this video. So you have a little bit of an idea of how Dan Pena's cast. And if you enjoy watching more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to my new channel here.
Okay, obviously this is bad because it starts out good, but then we haven't got any video. This is like a 30 seconds reel. This is not gonna work. So you gotta use your own judgment here because sometimes the prompt isn't perfect.
One of the first things that he asked was, guys, I want you to write down one thing that you're extremely proud of, and I want you to write down your biggest, boldest dream too. Then Pena looked at me and he started screaming and shouting. 3. He said, look, one of my biggest regrets in life was that I set my goals too low. 4. Because my students generated over $1 trillion in wealth using my system. 5. If I would have set the goal to become the $100 trillion man, I would have now been $100 trillion man. 6. There are 3 important components which allow you to generate unlimited wealth too. You need to leverage other people's track record. 3. Then second component is leveraging other people's time. 4. And then the final component is leveraging other people's money. 5. If you combine those 3 things, then you should be able to generate for yourself. 6. My biggest insight from Dan Pena's Castle Seminar. 7. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. That you have a little bit of an idea of how Dan Pena's Castle Seminar works.
Okay, this is like, I don't want this. This is my biggest insight from, this is a good hook, I think. But this is also a good hook. So this is good, right? So let's start with the first one. See how we can do that. I could try to prompt it better also. Let's see actually what this does.
Video 1. The $1 trillion secret hook. 03S. Sentence. I spent 1 week with the $1 trillion man and it's completely changed my life. Text overlay. $1 trillion secret face with single finger over mouth and shushing just a promise. 38S. Sentence. Dan Penner looked at me and he started screaming and shouting. He's look, one of my biggest regrets in life was that I set my goals too low. Text overlay. He made me realize this mistake. Value 840s. Sentences. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. If you just set higher goals than your friends, you're already considered to be ambitious. If you're around with people that have even bigger and bolder goals than you are, then suddenly your initial goal is then suddenly much smaller and you'll be forced to level up your ambitions as well. Text overlay. The uncomfortable truth about your goals. CTA 4045s. Sentence. I hope now that you've enjoyed watching this video. Text overlay. Comment goals for my free wealth blueprint video 2. 3 steps to unlimited wealth. 03S. Sentence. There are 3 important components which will allow you to generate unlimited wealth. Text overlay. 3 steps to unlimited wealth money bag. If you combine those 3 things, then you should be able to generate unlimited amounts of wealth for yourself. Text overlay. This changed everything. Number 1 is you need to leverage other people's track record. Then the second component for unlimited wealth generation, leveraging other people's time. And then the final component is leveraging other people's money. Text overlay. The 3-step formula. CTA 4045s. Sentence. He paid $30,000. This advice hook. 03S. Sentence. So for some people, 30,000 for a 1-week seminar is a lot of money. $30,000 for 1 week of advice. Face with open eyes and mouth with head exploding promise. Sentence. My dad called me crazy for paying this, but I know that all of my investments in my own mindset and skills has worked. Text overlay. Every penny. Value 840s. Sentences. At the time I had no other friends that had the ambition to build a 100 million euros company. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That day I realized that the people that I was surrounding myself with weren't the ones that were going to bring me to that next level. Text overlay. The $30,000 lesson that changed my life. CTA 4045s. Sentence. It is my formula that I am implementing in my text overlay. Comment mentor for my success formula. Each video maintains exact quotes while following a viral formula structure.
Okay, I love those. Those are much better. So you see, ChatGPT is not so good. Claude is much better in those kind of things. But I love each one of those. This is really so much better. Like here, I was thinking like, okay, the beginning is good, but then I need to think for myself and figure it out for myself and look at his videos. But this is just perfect. So I just literally listen to all of this and do that. So we can do it together. The reason this is smarter, this Claude, is because it has some, I'll show you. It knows a lot about me. It knows about my business and everything. So it knows about my offer. It knows about the viral reel formula. It knows about like my most viral reels. So it knows already what gets attention, what doesn't. Because here I gave it something like, so text to transcript views. So it knows a lot already. Now, what I do for my clients is I build for them each one their own thing, but this is perfect. So let's actually go and edit this. Okay, this is the first one, right? And then the second one would be, so let's copy this. And then here I can go and can't find it because it's exact words. Look at me and started screaming and shouting.
I took the mic and I told the room what I just wrote down. And damn,
okay, all of this is what we wanted to delete.
1 week with the $1 trillion man and it's completely changed my life. Dan Peña looked at me and he started screaming and shouting. He said, one of my biggest regrets in life was that I set my goals too low.
Okay, I don't know why I put it so hard, so I'm just gonna turn down this volume thing.
Wanted to become the
Not sure what's going on.
$1 trillion man because my students generated over.
Okay, so now the second sentence would be
Your friends and I'll show you your future. If you just slightly higher.
my goals too low. Yes.
Goals too low. I wanted to become the $1 trillion man because my students generated over $1 trillion in wealth using my system. And now I am 75 years old and I have achieved this goal. If I would have set the goal to become the $100 trillion man, I would have now been the $100 trillion man. But I set my goals too low. And Mitchell, you are setting your goals also too low. And I was shocked.
Okay, this is good. We could just use all of this.
Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. If you just slightly higher goals than your friends, you're already considered to be ambitious.
Let's see if we can find this. Okay. But yeah, then after I do this, I have a viral reel. I can publish it. Obviously, we need to change the formatting to like this, maybe scale it a little bit. The problem with this app is it doesn't download it in high quality. So maybe downloading it in high quality would help. Yeah, and having all the B-roll and having everything here also adds like, how do we find the B-roll? There's a few ways. We can basically Google his name. And this is like priorities, right? First of all is what he says, top priority. The second priority would be the visual. How do we make it visually interesting at the beginning?
Spent 1 week with the $1 trillion man and it's completely changed my...
What we could do is, because this is already quite interesting, we could put it on top, half on the screen, and then on the other half we could put the B-roll. So after this, there is a B-roll usually, so I can basically show you that here.
I spent 1 week with the $1 trillion man and completely changed my life. In this video, I'm going to share my experience spending 1 week with them.
This is all B-roll. This is all great. So Mitchell basically gave this, but what we could do also is probably go to his Instagram and find in his highlights or in his other videos or photos of those moments. Now, this video is really edited good, but we could also basically just take this, mention, for example. Yeah, we can take things from other places. Of course, make sure that it is copyright free or that we don't get in trouble for this, but this is one way that you can do that. The prompt really matters here, so make sure to get the prompt. I will potentially help you with that as well if you need any help. One thing I forgot to add is that there are 3 priorities. Number one priority is what we say. The second priority is what we show. And then the third priority is what we write. So a good text hook is super important. And I don't want to see any video without any of those three. I always want to see something interesting to look at, hear something interesting, and then see something interesting. Like for me, it was like the difference between 400 versus 4,000 photo shoots. With those text hooks, you feel like you're missing out if you're not seeing everything, especially for a new person. And always think from the perspective of a new person, how would he watch this video? Now, another thing is we want to make it as interesting as possible all the time. So for example, with a verbal audio, we want to cut out spaces between words. If anything is not interesting, if he says a word that's not interesting, we want to cut it out, right? So we can go here and we can see there's gaps here between words.
Comments below. What kind?
I'm lost. Especially in the first 3 seconds, I want those gaps to be gone.
Comments below. What kind of video you'd like me to create? Comments next. All right.
See how boring this all was? So this is super important. Visual hook, something that's moving. What would you look at naturally that's interesting? If I would be around my friend Mitchell, I would not look at his face because it's not so interesting. I would rather look like outside at people snowboarding or a dog running after cats or things like that. That's what I would look at. Still love to listen to what he says, but those kind of things. Or him leaning in is also really interesting when he says something interesting. There are some like body movement and stuff like that. That is also interesting. But then ideally my most viral reels worked when I spoke about the why or shared something and then I showed what I did basically. So he's sharing, he just was with $1 trillion person. We can show a photo of this guy and then maybe Wikipedia like $1 trillion guy or like text or different things like that. Yeah, that's that. And then the text hook, also don't make it too long. Make it the text always scannable because people don't really read, they scan it. So 400 and 4,000, that's easy to scan because we see those numbers. We don't need to read a long paragraph because we don't. That's the thing. So the shorter it is, the easier it is to scan. And also I see a lot of people make a mistake. They use unreadable fonts or unscannable fonts, or they make it like white on white or things like that where it's not readable. Make sure it's readable, especially in the first 3 seconds. I usually put it on black and white, like just align your priorities with the viewer priorities. If you can't read it, it's just a distraction. Then remove it completely. Then it doesn't make sense. But if you can read it, boom. And look, this video has so much B-roll, like just here
To this video and let me know them pain.
All of this we can use for the video itself at the beginning. So good luck.